Hello, I'm Tim from Tim's PC, and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. Also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you would like to get an awesome new PC, you'd like to see it get put together live, send me a message today. Alrighty, so tonight we're going to be building this pink PC. So, I've built one in this case before, but doesn't come up too often. Everyone is usually very black and white with computers, but there are other options, obviously. So this is the one that we've got here tonight. So this is the, what's this case called? The Fantech, what is it called? The GC80 middle tower case. So I don't know why they don't just call it a mid-tower case, but anyway. So let's go through the components here tonight. So we've got the H410M HVS from ASRock. So this is by far, it's got to be the best value H470 chipset motherboard that you can get. You can pick this up for about 80 Australian dollars right now. So it's a bargain. It lacks a couple of features, but I mean, you're getting the H470 chipset, so you're ahead with regards to that. For our graphics card here, we've got a GeForce GTX 1050 Ti. So this is an older generation card that's made a bit of a comeback with the graphics card shortages. But we'll have a look at that a bit later on in our build. For our CPU, we've got the Intel Core i3-10105F. So this is a really good price performance CPU. It's pretty much, if you're looking at budget CPUs, it's pretty much running unopposed. There doesn't really have anyone really rivaling it at the same price. So really good value for money there. So for our power supply, we've got a Cooler Master 80 Plus 550 watt power supply. So I like these power supplies because they've got the flat black ribbon cables, so easy for cable management. And this particular power supply puts out 540 watts on the 12 volt rail, so a little bit under the 550, but I'd still consider this to be a true 550 watt power supply. And over here for our memory, we've got 16 gigabytes of the Adata Spectrix D41. This is 3200 megahertz CAS latency 16 memory. And thanks to our H470 chipset, we actually get to use the speed. And for our SSD, we've just got a Crucial BX500 480 gigabyte SSD. We've got a Wi-Fi card here. This is just an N300 Wi-Fi card. And we've got a couple of extra RGB fans to add to this case. And that pretty much covers our components here for the build. So let's get started. So what do we get in here? It's some SATA cables, IO shield, and our motherboard. Anything under here? No. Here we go. So a little tiny motherboard. This is a mini ITX board. So I'll point out some of the features on this board. So we've got 8 pins of CPU power here for our CPU, obviously. Got a couple of fan headers over here. We have dual channel memory. And we have our 24 pin ATX power over there. We've got our USB 3 front panel connection. We've got our clear CMOS headers, these two little pins here. We have, that would be front panel. No, front panel's down here, that will be USB 2. We have trusted platform module. We have 4 horizontal SATA ports. We have our speaker header, our front panel header, our X16 PCIe slot. We have what looks like that will be a 5V RGB header. We've got an X1 slot here, as well as our X16 slot. And we have our front panel audio header directly behind our audio connection there. And those two little gold capacitors are our audio capacitors. And around the back here, we have our audio jacks. We've got gigabit Ethernet. We've got 4 USB 2.0s, 2 USB 3.0s. We've got a HDMI port and a VGA output there. We won't actually be using them in this build, so I might even put a plug in it right now, just so there's no confusion. So I'll just put this little plug in the HDMI port there, just so anyone who uses this computer knows that that one is not in use. And where are my scissors? This is our CPU. And our CPU cooler. Alrighty. So we'll go on and get this board prepped. I might have a better cooler than this that can go on this. Yes. So there are thermal paste pre-applied to these Intel stock coolers, just FYI. And so to install these, it's pretty easy. Just press down on the pins. Well, what's happening here? Oh, why didn't that come off? That didn't pop off.
What?
Yeah, no shit. It didn't pop off. I was like, why is this not fastening down? That's alright. I got one corner in, and I'm like, hang on a second. Sometimes these Intel stock coolers can be a little bit of a pain to mount, just to make sure that each corner clicks. You should feel a little click when they're all in place, and they feel very much in place. So we're just going to conceal this cable. Just like that. You wouldn't even know. Yeah. Hey Mick, how you going? Alright. So we'll put our memory in. And then one of the things that this board lacks, and it's probably why it's so cheap at the moment, it's probably on a clearance price, is because there's no M.2 slot on it. So that is one caveat with it. But the flip side is it's so cheap. It's like half the price of any other H470 board. There we go. We have our board prepped. Nice and easy. Need those SATA cables for later. Our Wi-Fi card, we'll plug that in with our graphics card. So now let's turn our attention to this pink case. So I can't remember the kid who got this.
I can see their face.
Yeah.
The name.
I want to say Felix, but I think that's wrong. It's gonna ship me. I'm gonna look this up. Because he messaged me recently. Phoenix Hutch. That's his name. He got this with a ROG Strix 3060 Ti. Do you not remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So remove that tempered glass panel there. And we've got some instructions for the case. Oh. So there we've got our fans already pre-connected, just need to hook up the power. We've got our bolts. Here's our hard drive trays if we wanted to put any 3.5-inch hard drives in. And what have we got around here? We've got a SSD tray over here. So we'll probably use this one, I reckon. So these Crucial BX500s, you get about 550 megabytes a second read speeds off these, so they're snappy little SATA SSDs. So we'll just mount these quickly, get that out of the way. So I could just do 2 bolts because it's an SSD, But I think we'll do the others because it's not my computer. But yeah, if you're doing this at home, SSDs only need one bolt. You don't even need to screw them in, you can just have them loose. There's no moving parts, so it doesn't really matter if your computer's sitting down, it's not moving. There we go. Can't really see it, but I just mounted the SSD there. There's our front panel connections, USB 2, 3, front panel audio and power switches. So now, let's get this power supply in place. No embarrassing stuff up like last night when I got a regular ATX power supply instead of an SFX power supply. So I said it right this time. Okay, so for this particular configuration, we can only mount the power supply face down. And so the reason is because there's only a vent on the bottom, so we can't have the power supply without any ventilation. Because being the part that converts AC current out of your wall to DC current for your computer, it gets pretty toasty doing that conversion. So it kind of needs its fan. And when I say it kind of needs it, I mean like your computer will turn itself off if the power supply gets too hot. And you'll also flip your shit as well because it won't turn on straight away. So you'll think it's like completely destroyed and that you've destroyed your computer and it's never coming back. When it'll just have to cool down. There we go. Alrighty, so we've got a couple of extra fans to install here. Just so our airflow is balanced in this case. So we're going to have 3 fans on the front and we're going to have 3 fans, 2 on the top and 1 on the back that are going to blow air out of the case. So it's important to make sure you got balanced airflow in the case. Because you can have all the fans in the world, but if it's creating a heap of positive pressure in the case, then it's just going to heat up. Alrighty, so we'll remove this dust filter just temporarily. And do we have any room? Not really. We'll have to go through here. was that?
I have no idea. Kind of sounded like a kid squealing. I'm not sure.
Look at that. The cabling is coming through that bottom hole. There's a top hole there for it. Let's just... Let's just fix this up.
Let's see right here.
Yeah, that looks a bit better. Okay. So yeah, once we get these fans in place, we'll have nice balanced airflow in this case. Last bolt. Very good. Oh, let's put that on while I remember. Okay, so we've got all of our cables out the back there. Let's get our motherboard installed. So first we want to get our I/O shield. Do this without slicing my finger open. Alright, that's looking pretty good. And all of our offsets are in place. I should be. Look at that. One bolt. That's all it needs. All right. There we go. So now we've got our case all prepped, all of our fans installed. Now we can turn our attention to the cabling. Alright, so we've got these front panel connections. So where's our USB 3? It's up with the power cable. So let's leave that down there with the power cables, and then all of these others okay, this is the one that's on the LED switch. I might just use this. Oh, it's even got a reset switch as well. So, what's that LED switch even meant to do? Because it doesn't power these fans, it doesn't control these fans as far as I know. Might just plug that onto clear CMOS even. Alright. Get these tied away. And so what we're going to do with these, we're going to slide them down behind our motherboard. Okay. So now we've got all these cables. This is the front panel audio. So that'll just go on like that. We've got USB Type-C, which is actually it's not going where I want it to go. better. There we go. Got that plugged in discreetly. And we'll plug Alright, come on you little bastards. Okay. Looking good. So I've got all of that wired up discreetly there. So now we might get this SATA cable installed.
So,
Yep.
Rachel says it's looking good, Tim. I noticed you blocked off the HDMI slot earlier. What sort of cable would be used to connect off the monitor?
Oh no, you plug in through the graphics card, that's why. So you won't have you don't have onboard graphics on the CPU. So the display ports, the display outputs on the motherboard won't actually be active. So that's why, that's the only reason why I do it, because it's like a common thing. Someone will just plug into what they're used to plugging into on the back of their computer if they're used to using onboard graphics. They'll just plug into the same thing, and yeah, it's just a support call waiting to happen. So I put a little plug in it so people realise that yeah, it's not the one that you use. Yeah.
Rachel says, awesome thinking, total newbie here.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, that's part of the reason why I've blocked it off, is just so you don't make that mistake. Because the last thing you want to do is like get your new computer and then be stressing out that something's not right as soon as you get it. That's not fun. Yep. Yeah, it's a pink build. Yeah, they do exist. Yeah. I'm short on zip ties.
Tim?
Yeah.
It says, hey Tim, here goes. Hey, wow, that tells me I should have made one in that colour. Nicholas says, need more RGB for better performance.
Yes. Yep. More RGB, more power. Power on. Alright, it's looking pretty schmick. These cables. I think I will need perfect. Oh. Sometimes you just need to push something out of the way. Oh, of course. I really should have done this before. That's what gaming chairs are for, eh? I'm like really hot in here. Is it just me or is it warm? Oh, that's why. Alrighty. So now we got that splitter installed. I can plug these two top fans in around the back here. And now I think we're just left with our power cables. Hey Javier, just send me a message, man, and we'll go through it all. Yeah. Sweet as. Okay, so now we're just left with CPU. Come on.
You should have done that before you put it.
Yeah, I know. But I like to make it hard for myself, you see. Yeah. Ah, nice.
Letting mozzies in. Using the screen.
Alright. Tension building. conceal all that nicely. Alrighty.
Anthony says hi too.
Hey Anthony, how you going? So here it is. Here's our graphics card. Factory sealed 1050 Ti.
Tim? Pete on YouTube says morning Tim from the UK.
Hey Pete, how you going? Sorry if I'm late responding to your comment there, mate. And so, yeah, Rachel. So you've got a DisplayPort output, HDMI, and DVI output on the back of this graphics card. So you can actually output the 3 monitors if you want. Oh, guys. Actually, they have put the X1 slot above it. So we'll actually put this in. Jesus. That's some tough shrink wrap. Okay, what have we got here? Oh, we got some drivers. We've got a low profile bracket. And here is our Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
No worries. So yeah, we're just plugging in Rachel's Wi-Fi now. Very nice. And just below it, we'll plug in a graphics card. Oh, alright, let's look at this here.
Tim?
Yeah.
It says, hey Tim, just a suggestion. Could you put up a whiteboard next to the whole specs of the computer as you're building?
All the specs of the computer as I'm building it.
Yeah, like a whiteboard.
What would be the best solution to that? Leave it with me. Because obviously I could quite easily share like the quote with the part list, just figuring out what form that actually takes. What's up?
Everybody says yes, you'll have to move your fluffy toys.
Yeah,
They're my toys.
they're Christine's. Like, I'm a pretty big Pokemon fan, like in terms of the games and stuff, but I don't collect the toys. That's more a Christine thing. And screw in our Wi-Fi antennas, or antennae. It's a technical term. It's not antennas. Sound like some uncultured person.
Hillbilly.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we've got one last. No, we don't need extra power for this card. Doesn't look like it. Very good.
The less cables, the better.
Yeah. Where am I? Pliers.
Tim,
Yeah.
Facebook's saying that the stream resolution is too high.
Yeah, it's saying that, but it's not because I've only got a 1080p capture card. So it can only run at the recommended resolution.
That only just started coming up.
What's that?
It only just
Yeah,
started.
no, it happened last night, and it's been happening. Alrighty. Well, other than a couple of little cable ties inside the case, that is it. So it's looking pretty tidy for a micro ITX build. Sometimes they can actually, even though it's a smaller board, sometimes it can actually be harder to make it neat because you've got a lot of stuff in a small area. So sometimes it's like just cables running everywhere. But I think we've done a pretty good job at running all those cables in a nice discreet manner so we don't see a lot of cables around the place. So all in all, I think we're ready to turn it on and see if she works. Because it's all well and good to say, hey, it's a good build, look at that, it's nice and neat. But if it doesn't work, then, well, it's all for nothing, right? All right. All right. I turned the power on. Now we're gonna press the power button. Jivs! Look at that. And we are straight up into our Windows install. So happy days. And we will install now. Windows 10 Pro. No worries. Alright, let's get this bit of glass over these things without touching the glass. That's the challenge. Alrighty. Windows is restarting. So the only downside about the stock fans that come in this case is that they aren't actual addressable RGB. They just stay on the rainbow mode, which is fine if you like the rainbow mode, which many people do. That's fine. But I mean, you know, beggars can't be choosers. A $100 case with 4 pre-installed RGB fans. Did you just press that LED button? No, don't touch that. I hooked it up to clear CMOS.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. Oh, no.
What's this? Is that just a standard message? I can't see it. No, it's just the standard message. Okay, let's hope the Windows install hasn't corrupted itself.
Fucked up.
I told you, I said that doesn't go anywhere. I told you that when we were building it. I said it doesn't do anything.
I wasn't listening. I didn't fuck it up. Like,
No.
break something.
All right. It's looking like it'll be fine. All good.
Stay away from it, Christine.
Yeah, the LED button, which I'll be explaining to Rachel on the case, is
Don't do what I just did.
yeah, that's a button that you press if the computer's not turning on anymore and stuff. That's a button that does like a factory reset. So I might even remove the word LED from that button. Alright, so we're going to plug in some Ethernet. And we're going to plug in my SSD. I can breathe again now. Yeah, no. It's just there was nothing else for me to put that button on. And may as well connect it to something useful. The computer doesn't work for you anymore. To change something that you shouldn't have. That's the button to save you. Alrighty. So I'm just going to declutter this a bit.
Knocked my mouse as I was trying to make your screen a bit smaller.
Alright, let's get some updates. Let's get R23 going on. Yep.
Christmas Social on YouTube says good morning. You.
Hey man, how you going? Alright. Yep.
Everyone on Twitch says that's a nice big PC.
Yeah, it comes up alright. Alright, so we'll put down some custom desktop icons to keep our desktop organized. Last thing we want is crap all over our desktop. Okay, so what do we got in here? We've got a crucial drive, no hard drive, no WD. We need some gaming apps. Oh, here's our graphics card driver. GeForce Experience. That'll install straight away for us now because we've got our driver installed. And let's get some other apps. Okay, so we've got an ASRock H470M HVS.
The cat's outside the window again, really.
Mm.
I don't understand why it keeps coming here.
No idea. You know more about cats than I do.
I've never seen it before.
Alright, with these. And get all this updated. It's nearly done. Windows, Origin. It's still
Hopefully
going.
Windows doesn't do that weird thing where it doesn't update.
No. And I think she's frozen up on us.
This time I didn't do it.
No, but this is a strange thing. The same thing happened last night. Yeah, which is pretty weird.
You hear that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Windows Explorer's crashed. See how it's minimized it? It's showing it like this, like we're running Windows 3.1 or something. I'm just trying every little way I can maybe get this to.
Do something. I don't think it will though.
That's very strange, though. Two crashes, 2 nights in a row. What's going on?
Sounds like that cat's just like lost. It's like walking around the complex, just going wow, wow, wow. Or it could be a female cat that's gotten out. It's on heat. Because it does sound like the one with rouse.
Yeah.
Maybe she can smell that Buddy's here, like a male cat or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
That's the only thing I can think of. Lots of random things hanging around the house. Do you have a girlfriend out there, Buddy? Me? Hmm? Ow.
Okay. Nothing I've missed here. All good. Fix the date and time. Go. No. Alright. So all this stuff here from ASRock is the stuff that you get on like a CD, but we don't use CD drives anymore, so... Alright. Alright, so this is going to restart a couple of times now, so I'm just going to go to the toilet, have a quick break, and I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Fuck you, cunt. You fucking saw the overtaking lane and you fucking sped up to stop me passing. Fuck you.
There was like more than like a kilometre or so worth of fucking overtaking lane left.
But the thing is, the problem is that that's going to go to the cops. And the first thing the cops are going to say to me, why'd you fucking slow down? Why'd you continue and create that accident? You saw it happening. You even mentioned that you fucking knew it was happening before it happened. You didn't fucking do anything to stop it. And that's what they'll do. Because that's what the cops are like.
Yeah,
They don't give a
remember what
fuck.
they did to me.
Yeah,
when I got-
they do not give a fuck about the circumstance. They're just going to go, oh, well, then you didn't do this. So, like, it's good that he said that, but also. Unfortunately, that's fucking how that's how.
He tried to fucking overtake him, speeding up, fucking honked him before like what made like fucking crashed into him.
Okay, how we going? Okay. Okay. Let's just check those SSD speeds with that momentum cache active. Yep. So good speeds there. So if we want to have a look at the i3 10105F, it's a decent little CPU. 4 cores and 8 threads. So this is where it is. So these are the CPUs that are faster than it. These are the CPUs that are slower than it. So it's up there. It's up there with the good ones. And if we go like for like comparisons, yeah, okay, so see, this gets a little bit confusing up here. So it says 8 threads. These ones here are all actually 8 cores. Oh, I'm not sure about the 9700. Oh no, the 9700T would be 8 cores as well. So these are 8 core running just in like 8 cores 8 thread mode, not 8 cores 16 thread mode. So it's kind of not fair to compare the 10105F with 8 core CPUs because it's only a 4 core. It's just got 8 threads. So if we compare it to other 4 core 8 thread CPUs, which yeah, it's like not that one. 4350G is a 4 core. Yeah, 3300X is a 4 core. Ryzen 7 4700U. Not sure what the core is on that, but yeah, that's where it sits. And how about temperatures? Been looking nice and cool, not getting too hot. Let's just give it a quick squirt with Cinebench. Let's make sure that we definitely do have good contact. Yeah, that's perfect. We're not seeing a spike there at all. It's just staying there in the 50s. Love it. We'll come back to that. So let's have a look at let's see what this thing can do. So run out standard heaven on the standard settings it installs with. And so this value here below RAM, this is how many frames a second it's running at. So yeah, this is the GTX 1050 Ti. It'll do the job. You can't really compare it to like a 30 series card and stuff like that. It's just not, it's not a fair comparison. Yeah. Yeah, you'll have a good time with this, and then, I mean, you've got a decent system there. You can upgrade your graphics card in time. If you find you download a new game and you're like, oh, I wish it ran a bit better, you can always upgrade it. But yeah, no issues there with the temperatures. Yeah, so this is when we're looking at like lower power components, we're gonna get lower temperatures. So that's always a given. So when you get like something that's really high end and it's running hot, and some people, if they've never had like a high end CPU or something like that, they sort of feel like, oh shit, it's running really hot, but they don't realize that that's like an operational characteristic of it. The fact is that it's high powered, so that's why you need all the big coolers for them and stuff. But as you can see here, with an i3 10105F, just with the stock Intel cooler with the copper center, it does quite a good job at cooling this. And we can probably get a little bit more performance out of our CPU, because the temperatures are really good. We can tell the system to ignore all the limits. So it's not overclocking, but we can tell the system to ignore certain limits, like there's a time limit on how long it'll turbo boost for. We can tell it, forget about that time limit, turbo boost as much as you want for as long as you want. Alright, so yeah, apparently we forgot to put, or I forgot to put one of the bolts on the bottom of Robert's case. One of these ones. So we have one of them around. I need to locate it. Actually, I think I just located it right then. There it is. It had fallen off the table and was sitting down right next to my computer. So yeah, Robert, whenever you're in the area, or your wife's in the area,
Because the copper conducts the heat away from the CPU.
Yeah, yep. So basically, yeah, copper has really high heat conductivity. It's part of the reason why it's like electrically conductive as well, similar physics reasons. Why is everything locked out here? That's strange. Everything is grayed out. That's strange. Oh well. Maybe it might be a limitation of the BIOS on this board. Maybe that's why it's so cheap. Oh well. Hey, it's a computer. It's like you're flying. This one. Very nice. So we're not going to run this one on 4K because this isn't really a 4K gaming card.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do 1080p extreme. Let's give that a go. Oh, this is a bit of a slideshow. No, we're not going to watch that. This is the most demanding of these benchmarks. Yep, she's running nice. Very, very cool. Power supply's under 30 degrees. I'm only getting like 30 degrees at the back of the graphics card. And about 25 degrees inside the case. Glass is 23 degrees. 27 degrees on the top. Some people might sort of go, oh, is an i3 enough? Well, as you can see with these figures, the i3 is barely working. And the graphics card's running 100%. So that's what you want ideally. You don't want your graphics card, the most expensive component of your computer, to not be doing 100% while your CPU is at 100% holding it back. That's bad news. You want your graphics card to be running at 100% and your CPU to be running under 100%. All right. So yep, so we've got our Wi-Fi there, it's installed, it's detecting the local networks. I think we're pretty much done with most of this stuff. Burning out the OneDrive. 100%. Same with my SSD. Okay. Okay. So now we'll start giving it a bit of a stress. And so now you can see the CPU is doing some work as well as the graphics card. So this is what's called a synthetic stress test. So being synthetic, it's not something that you're going to be doing when you're using it. You're not going to be playing a game while you're trying to render a video. If that's your workload, then you're not buying a budget PC. You're buying like a high-end workstation. So not really a fair test, but the point is that if it passes this test, then I know that it's not going to overheat or anything like that. I'm pretty confident to send this off to the customer and just leave it at that. Still so cold on the outside, eh? Alrighty, well, this is pretty much it from here. Everything's installed. It's all ready for Rachel to pick up. I'm just going to let this run for the next hour or so. So if anyone has any further questions that they'd like to ask me before I sign off for the night, now is your chance to hit me up. No worries, Rachel. So yeah, you can pick it up whenever you want. I'll have it ready for you. Just let me know when you want to pick it up, and I can bring it down to the gate for you. I'm in a gated community, so sometimes can't drive up to the house. But yeah, if you park down at the gate, there's car parks there. I'll bring it down for you, and yeah, it's all ready just to turn on. Plug your keyboard and mouse into it, plug your monitor in, you're ready to go. So yeah, I mean this is all running sweet. There's no issues here with the temperatures or anything like that, so that'll be just a straight run. There's these readings here. That's not right. So this is a micro ITX board, sorry, mini ITX board, and as a result, it doesn't have the same amount of temp sensors and stuff that the BIOS software that gets loaded onto this board would have on like other configurations. And so because those other headers are in the software, it's showing up as an anomalous reading. So we can see our CPU temperature there, and then these other two here would be the other two temp indicators that are actually on the motherboard. This one here is most likely the CPU socket, and this other one is probably just another, it's probably on the VRM, I would guess. So yeah, that's the bit sort of at the back of the board behind the rear I/O panel. So that's where that temperature indicator would be. This would be CPU socket, that would be CPU temperature. And then our graphics card with our main temp and our hotspot. All good. No worries. Alright everyone, so thanks for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe, all that kind of thing really means a lot to me. I've been doing the live streams for nearly 6 months now, and it's been very, very successful. People seem to like it, so we're going to keep doing it. What else? I was going to say something else. Nah, it's completely escaped me, but I'll remember at some stage, I'm sure, if it's important. So have a good night, and I'll see you all in the next video.